For today's video, I'm going to attempt to tell you guys a story through a set of shoes. And now this story is a very important story to me because there is so much inspiration behind this story. Now the main character in this story was a rider that I looked up to, that I was able to meet in 2001 when he came to my skate park for the first time. And not even like 6 months later, I saw that rider go on and win a gold medal. And that nice humble person just became a rock star in our sport. He went on to have an amazing riding career. And the rider that we're going to be talking about today is Stephen Murray. And the shoes that we're going to be talking about today are these Vans Old School Stay Strong limited edition shoes that I just got sent to me. And I'm so happy and so proud that I have these in my hands. I've been riding for Vans since I was 16 years old, and they sent these to me because they knew that this story was important to me. Now this is a great looking shoe. It's majority gray and black. It's got the checkerboard on the side, and you can see inside the checkers are the Stay Strong logo. And if you also go onto the bottom part of the shoe, you can see Stay Strong on the back. And it has the yellow Vans tag and also the yellow Vans off the wall. Now if we go to the bottom of the shoe, you can see that it's the Vans Waffle Cup BMX. These are BMX specific shoes with the BMX specific bottoms. Taking a look inside the shoe, you can see it has a Stay Strong checkerboard, but it also says Stephen Murray in yellow, and it also says limited edition. Vans made these shoes to only be sold on the Stay Strong website, and they sold out in minutes. I'm so proud that I'm able to get a pair of these shoes because this rider is so important to me, and I'm going to tell you guys a story right now. And we're going to go all the way back in 2001. That year, he won the Xgames gold medal in BMX dirt. He had an amazing run where he did a double backflip over the jump. But not only did he win the X Games gold medal that year, he actually won the Gravity Games gold medal as well. And then he followed it up the very next year by winning another Gravity Games. And at this point, Stephen Murray was on top of the game. He had all the biggest sponsors, including Vans. He was traveling the world, going to all the big events, and he was known and respected by everyone in the sport of BMX. Stephen had his own backyard trails in California where all the local BMX pros would go out and ride, and the sessions there were amazing. And for the next 5 years, Stephen was on top of his game. So we're going to fast forward the story to June 22nd, the year 2007. We were in Baltimore, Maryland at a Dew Tour competition, which was one of the biggest events of the year. I was there competing in park, and Stephen was there competing in dirt. And I remember there was a competition underneath the lights, and I was just getting to the event when they were calling Stephen's name. I was right by the roll as he was doing his run, and I looked up on the last jump and I saw him do a double backflip, and I saw him stop rotating. Things went terribly wrong, and we knew that this wasn't going to be good at all. But little did we know that this was going to end Stephen's riding career. He ended up breaking his neck. He couldn't move anything on his body, and he couldn't breathe for himself. Stephen ended up flatlining on the way to the hospital, and I will never forget how I felt that weekend. I had a competition, but I didn't want to compete. The last thing I wanted to do was go and risk myself after seeing what happened to my friends. That changed me as a rider. I stopped doing big tricks. That next year made me a tech rider. A lot of you older riders will remember the tech videos I was putting out after that. Me being on the rock and roll fools, I was doing so many tech tricks, that landing fakie, doing the fakie tail ups out of it. I just didn't want to go in the air anymore. I was terrified of it. And truthfully, it took me a while to start getting back in the groove. I saw how his life changed. I saw how it can end in a blink of an eye. That became my biggest fear. I just didn't want that to ever happen to me. But Stephen did pull through, even though he was severely paralyzed. From the shoulders down, he couldn't move anything. And I'll never forget the first time I saw Stephen after his accident. I saw him sitting there in his chair. I didn't know what to say to him. I didn't want to offend him. It was one of the hardest conversations I ever had. I remember him asking me to reach down and stretch out his fingers. And I was so scared to do it. He literally wanted me to pull his fingers back. And I started doing it, and he was like, no, really do it. And I started pulling his fingers back about that far, and I couldn't do it. And then one of his helpers came over, and I saw them grab his fingers and pull them all the way back to his wrists. And they said that they do it to stretch out the muscles and the ligaments. I was just so confused walking away from there. I was so grateful to be in the position I was, but I also felt so bad for Stephen. And I couldn't understand why it had to happen to him. He had 2 boys that he had to care for, and he wasn't able to do anything for them anymore, and that broke my heart. But thankfully, Stephen was surrounded by such amazing people and such amazing sponsors that helped him get through it. And immediately after Stephen's crash was when Stay Strong came to life. Now over the years, Stay Strong has been supported by the BMX community, but Stay Strong has also supported the BMX community by having a race team and also sponsoring freestyle riders. And they would also have an amazing jam every year where everybody would go out and ride and get together in the name of Stephen Murray. Now we're going to fast forward again to the year 2016. And that's the year that Stephen Murray became an even bigger inspiration to me than ever before. That was the year when my worst nightmare came true. I broke my neck and I was paralyzed from the neck down, just like Stephen was. And I remember being in the hospital bed and getting a phone call from Stephen Murray. I just remember him being just so assuring to me that everything was going to be okay. He was telling me every little thing that I could look into, things that I can avoid, things that are just going to make my life better in that situation. And I was so grateful for him to do that. And still to this day, when I think about Stephen Murray, he's an idol of mine. It's because he's taken his life and he's still living it. Even though he is paralyzed from his shoulders down, Stephen can't do much on his own at all, but he's still living a full life. He has 2 sons that ride BMX, Seth and Mason, and that is just so amazing to see that he is finding happiness through all this, and that's what inspires me to keep on living life, to find my happiness, to appreciate the little things, and that's why I'm so proud that I have these shoes right here to remind me to stay strong like Stephen Murray. And I just want to say thank you to Stephen Murray from the bottom of my heart for being such a big inspiration to me, both on and off the bike. I'm going to continue to tell your story in the hopes that it's going to affect people in the way that's affected me. And I also want to say thank you to Vans for supporting myself and Stephen Murray both before and after the accident. I'm honored to be a part of the company and proud that I've had Vans on my feet for longer than half of my life. So guys, if you want to support my friend Stephen Murray, you guys can go to StayStrongBrand.com. You can get yourself a shirt, or you can also get yourself his autobiography called Staying Strong. It's an amazing book that tells his story. So guys, it's going to be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed this story through a set of shoes. And until next time, remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to like this video. Peace.